Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned into and are watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs, which I couldn't be more excited to produce for each and every one of you and record for every fan of Descendants of Zombies. I have taken great pride in sitting in this chair in front of this camera every morning talking about Descendants of Zombies because I love these franchises so much because of how they've gone on to captivate millions of fans and left so many people inspired for the obvious reasons. The powerful script, the powerful story, the powerful characters that you could really identify with because everybody was a fan of Kylie Contrell. Everybody was a fan of Malia Baker and their story that their characters represented, which was beautifully done and collaborated. And I think that never enough credit and respect can be shown to a franchise that has gone on to captivate millions of people. So how you do it is you create a YouTube channel where people of Descendants of Zombies can feel more inspired than ever before. This fan base is truly dedicated with so much heart and dedication to who and what they believe in. And that's one thing that every YouTube creator who's ever uploaded a video about Descendants of Zombies has really got to understand. Instead of uploading all these ridiculous rumors about why this happened for Descendants of Zombies, or why this came to be, or why this never happened for Descendants of Zombies after a prediction had been made, I think everybody's entitled to their believement when it comes to Descendants of Zombies and to believe into a future for Descendants of Zombies and to discuss that future with millions of fans of Descendants of Zombies across this planet. Because there are millions of fans of Descendants of Zombies who just want to watch the best Descendants of Zombies videos ever, and I couldn't be feeling more honored at this moment to be able to provide you with the content that you guys have deserved and appreciated for a very long time. Having said that, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel continuously over this last year, having made it the most incredible year of my lifetime, because I not only get to talk about Descendants of Zombies, I got to meet so many wonderful fans who have felt inspired by Descendants of Zombies. There's no denial ever coming from me about that, because I too have felt inspired by your favorite characters and all the moments that have brought us that much closer together and have made us the best of friends. Because undeniably people have become the best of friends and have shared in a friendship that is truly unforgettable because of everything having to do with Descendants of Zombies. Perhaps you have a favorite character or a favorite merch that you love to collect for Descendants of Zombies. Perhaps it's the dolls. And I have this to say to each and every single person who may have collected the dolls. If you feel very passionate about collecting the dolls, probably you have a shelf full of Descendants dolls and Zombies dolls in your room that you put on display. If you feel very passionate about that, I concur with that, and I support that. And I support every single dream that you've ever had. And that's what makes these videos very different from every other video that was ever uploaded about Descendants of Zombies, because I not only love to talk about Descendants of Zombies, I love to share with you my stories that have made me a fan of Descendants of Zombies, and the stories that have brought us all together that mean so much to each and every one of us, because we may have a favorite character or a favorite moment, like the very first moment that Zed and Addison met each other in the zombie safe zone and she punched him in the face. She may have punched him in the face, but it was a punch out of love because their friendship became something far greater than we ever imagined. And Zombies eventually got to a position to take over on Disney Channel and occupy the number one position for the most streamed Disney Channel original movie of all time, Disney Plus production. It was amazing seeing that production brought to life, and I had a greater appreciation, if anything, for the Zombies franchise because of how far it came. And I really love talking about it with each and every one of you through its powerful music, because there were so many definitive songs on that soundtrack. And by Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, the music had gotten so much better. And we fell in love with the Zombies franchise for so many obvious reasons. The powerful music and how dedicated each star was as a part of this cast to bring it to life, to have a truer meaning and a truer calling defined. And they wanted their character to be defined more than ever before and to never ever be forgotten, which is something I had a great deal of appreciation for, because as a YouTuber, I've never ever wanted to be forgotten. I've always wanted to go down in history for having been one of the greatest of all time. And you know, some way or somehow, I like to believe that I will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, because we've been brought that much closer together and have become the best of friends because of Descendants of Zombies. And you guys have trusted in me to have been your voice of Descendants of Zombies for a very long time. So because you've trusted in me to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies for a very long time, it gives me great honor and great pleasure to join you every single day and every single chance that I get, every single time an opportunity presents itself to discuss people like Red and Chloe, because they've really been defined through their legacies, which is undoubtable, through the Descendants of Zombies franchises, because more people than ever before could identify with Red and Chloe, and how Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker achieved so much virality on social media through their interactions with fans, their meet and greets, and the presentation of these characters, which were brought to life in so many unfathomable ways. And I remember the character Ruby Rose Turner portrayed Bridget because Descendants of Zombies was not always about happily ever after. It was about the profound impact bullying can have on a person, or how much further kindness can take a person in this lifetime. It's really a two-way street. You can choose to be a better person in life, or you can choose to do nothing about it. And I think the more people that choose to be a better person in this lifetime really make a profound impact on the people's lives they go on to touch and the lives they go on to change, which is something that Bridget's character was able to really bring to life. I think Ruby Rose Turner did a fabulous job bringing this character to life, which is why I believe more than ever before that her story is far from over. I really believe that we shouldn't just close the door immediately on a character that Ruby Rose Turner represented so phenomenally, being over and told and completed in Descendants of Zombies, because so many characters, far too many characters, have been seen in this Descendants franchise and have been forgotten about by the writers and producers. But when you talk about these characters like Mel and Evie from the perspective of a fan, I really don't believe these characters have ever been forgotten about, because the butterfly effect seems to have come into effect with the Descendants of Zombies franchises over the years, because of how people tend to forget about characters like Zed and Addison and tend to forget about characters like Mel and Evie because of this butterfly effect seeming to revolve around the Descendants of Zombies franchise. But I think that if you're a true die-hard fan of Descendants of Zombies, nobody is going to forget the contributions of the stars past or present, because they've offered so much to a franchise that's gone on to captivate millions of people worldwide, because there's so much of a cultural diversity that has been represented by Descendants of Zombies over the last at least decade. This has been a decade. I say this because this truly has been a decade that I will never ever forget. Being able to sit in front of this microphone where I could be anywhere else in the world today talking about whatever I was talking about, which I probably would never want to be talking about, because if there was one niche that I would always go back to, it would always be Descendants of Zombies, because this is my home. This is where I found my place in the world, was because of Descendants of Zombies. It was a franchise or franchises that I could really identify with, because I could never identify the same way with High School Musical or Hannah Montana, even with how much rarity Hannah Montana and High School Musical went on to achieve in its era, for its respective era and its time frame. I think that the fabric of time has never been more evident, more apparent, with how Descendants of Zombies really came into its own and really captivated millions of people in a way that Hannah Montana and High School Musical never could. Even though I remember High School Musical and Hannah Montana for its popularity and its rarity, I could never remember anything going on to captivate millions of people the way Descendants of Zombies did. I mean, just one statistic alone of over 89 million views in just under 10 days for the original trailer of The Rise of Red really puts into perspective of just how far this franchise has actually come, and how much more of a chance should be taken on the expansion Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland, with more characters than ever before coming into this franchise, which presents the opportunity for more storylines than ever before to be presented, and storylines that I'm incredibly excited to be a part of with each and every one of you. I say this because so many people have uploaded videos about Descendants of Zombies that have tried to discourage our hopes and dreams of anything ever happening and coming into fruition for the Descendants of Zombies franchises, but I for one believe that the Descendants of Zombies franchises still have such a long way to go, because I'm going to let you guys in a little something. I think that what Disney is trying to do is invest so much time and so much money and creativity, creative energy if you would, into Descendants of Zombies, because they never want to say goodbye to these franchises, and if they're doing anything here, they are recognizing the popularity of Descendants of Zombies, because as long as it continues to be popular, it will continue to resonate with so many millions of people, which it has done over the last decade. I mean, when you really put it into perspective and think about it, Descendants of Zombies has been around for over 10 years, and it's been said many times over the years that a lot can happen in a decade, and certainly it can. A lot can happen in 10 years, and if we knew what was going to happen in our own individual lives, we would probably be scared to death. But the thing is, Descendants of Zombies has been around for so long, it's gone on to achieve so much rarity, and I think it's better we didn't know what was going to happen, which is why Disney has done a considerable job, kind of covering up what's happening in the future when it comes to Descendants of Zombies. What's to expect for the Zombies franchise with these new characters, the dawning of this new script, and this new story between Victor and Nova, and what will their story detail? What's inside of this vortex where everyone always remains to be unanswered leading up to the premiere of Zombies 5, which isn't expected to happen until 2028. I know that's a real bummer. Everybody wants to see Zombies 5 happen sooner than that, and that's why people are YouTubing when is Zombies 5 coming out. And I've tried to help you guys out with that because I've been uploading a lot of videos trying to give you some details on when Zombies 5 is going to be dropping. But regardless of when Zombies 5 drops, you guys will forever and always have me as your voice of Descendants of Zombies to help you make sense of these franchises. Because these franchises have gone on to achieve so much rarity in your own lives and how you can really identify with them. And I wish more YouTube creators would really take it into perspective how these franchises have become franchises that you guys have been able to relate to and you've been able to identify with in so many incredible ways, which makes it such a huge honor for me to sit in front of this microphone to talk about Clarke and Malia Baker and Freya Skye and let them know everything is going to be okay because they have seen their fair share of criticism. But you know something, guys? Because of each and every one of you, they've been able to shy away and shut out these critics every single time because of your love and support for people like Clarke and Freya Skye, which never fails to amaze everybody. I think that the writers and producers of Descendants of Zombies didn't expect this to be as popular as what it was. That was undeniable how they didn't expect it to be as popular as what it was. And as it continued to remain to be popular with people for so many years throughout the generations, Disney and Descendants saw so many expansions which went on to become something far greater than everybody could have ever imagined. And that's why this has become the greatest honor of my life, to have dedicated the rest of my life to talking about Descendants of Zombies, because you guys have deserved far better reviews for a very long time. When it comes to things like the Snow Angels reaction videos you guys have been seeing over the last several weeks, for the better part of 2.5 weeks, I've been watching the Snow Angels music videos, and to be honest with each and every one of you, these reaction videos are really ridiculous. They really are choosing to give the Snow Angels music video much of a break, much of the benefit of the doubt, because I think when you're, bringing up the conversation of the Snow Angels music video, you should be bringing it up with prestige and honor, because these stars have put so much heart and dedication into everything they've been a part of, and they've just forever and always wanted to be a part of something special. I mean, who at 16 years old, when you talk about Freya Skye, doesn't want to be a part of something special, doesn't want to be a superstar, a megastar overnight? And it happened for her because of how much you believed in her. And I think only great things are coming in the future of Freya Skye to be talked about, and I'm just excited to be a part of it with each and every one of you, because she's got this world tour coming up. She's touring in places like the United Kingdom and Australia, and that deserves to be supported with so much love and dedication. And I think we're going to see that from so many fans of Descendants of Zombies who will remember how she was able to identify with each and every one of you through the powerful character Nova, who didn't take no for an answer and just wanted to be so defiant in this movie. The one thing that stood out about Freya Skye and that character was just how defiant she was in the Zombies War Down in the Vampires movie. This was her breakout role, kind of like how years ago it was a breakout opportunity for Sophia Carson. And Sophia Carson took a character with no backstory whatsoever, and she really brought her to life. And I think this is what Freya Skye is doing with this Nova character, is she's really bringing her to life, and people are identifying with her more than ever before, which is something to be really excited about, because this identity that Freya Skye has as this character really has resonated with so many wonderful people, and they have allowed these people to share their stories with others about how they became fans of Descendants of Zombies, because last summer was the greatest summer of all of our lives, because we were a part of something so spectacular when the premiere of Zombies War Down in the Vampires happened. I remember all the countdown videos you guys were uploading. I remember all the reviews that were being written early on before the movie ever premiered. The music videos had already premiered, Don't Mess With Us and Place to Be, and it was receiving so much criticism. And I immediately took to YouTube and I said, let's just give this time and give it a chance to really evolve into something so spectacular. And these music videos went on to achieve so much rarity, as well so did the movie, because of the powerful script and these new characters carrying on the lineage and the legacy of this franchise, because there's so much to be respected about this franchise. Because when it comes to this franchise, millions of people, just as many people, love Zombies as they do Descendants. There really is no comparison between the two, because they are one franchise in its entirety, that everybody's felt that much closer together and closely knit and bonded because of Descendants of Zombies. People have become inseparable because of Descendants of Zombies and how they feel about it. Because the thing that you've got to get when you upload a video about Descendants of Zombies is everybody feels so passionate about Descendants of Zombies. This is a never quit on you, never say die kind of attitude. So because it's a never say die kind of attitude, I think it's something that we've really got to respect, and we've really got to take into consideration each time we upload videos about Descendants of Zombies. And we've got to think about the people who are watching these videos, who want to get the most out of their experience from watching these videos because you never ever want to let anybody down from how you feel about Descendants of Zombies. I felt very captivated about all these moments. There are hundreds of moments, if not thousands, of moments throughout every chapter of every franchise that we can talk about here on this program because they've just stuck with us for forever. And I think forever and always we felt as if we were a part of something spectacular and deservingly so. And I'm just so excited to be a part of the foreseeable future because we have all these new characters coming into the franchise now, from Princess and the Frog and Encanto. Of course, the son or daughter of Dr. Phasler is going to be making their premiere. The daughter of Captain Hook, Hazel, is going to be a part of Descendants 5 with Wonderland, which opens up the door more widely than ever before to talk and discuss about so many storylines that we have never seen before. And now with the essence of time travel having been removed and taken out of Descendants 5 with Wonderland and the focus remaining on present-day Wonderland and the effects of time travel, like the Queen of Hearts being good now, which is something going to be very hard to get used to. I get it, with how annoying the Queen of Hearts has become known for being. This is going to be a very different story, but I think people are going to very quickly fall in love with this one, and I think this is more of a story to take more of a chance on than perhaps ever before, which is something I'm really excited about for each and every person, whoever was a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because I think that jumping to conclusions about Descendants 5 with Wonderland is really unnecessary. Trying to derive all these rumors from how Malia Baker is unfollowing Kylie Cantrell on Instagram now. I mean, it's really ridiculous how people, upload these stories all the time about how these stars are kind of in the midst of things. I think because there's a lack of interest right now in Descendants of Zombies, that's why people are trying to, create all these rumors that people really shouldn't buy into. I think they'll create a rumor off everything, and I'll have more to say on this on an upcoming show on my YouTube channel if you guys would care to join me, because in all honesty, guys, I think these rumors about Descendants of Zombies have been really far out there and really hard to believe. You're kind of in a position where you're trying to figure out what's real and what's not because of all these fake trailers that are being uploaded about Descendants of Zombies, of course, predicting release windows for Descendants of Zombies, especially Zombies 5, with how popular Zombies has gone on to become with over 89 million people watching it. It's really incredible how Descendants of Zombies has produced these numbers in such a short amount of time, because it's only been 1 year since Descendants of Zombies premiered, and it's been just so incredible watching the rise of popularity of these franchises and how they've gone on to captivate millions of people and how people really feel about Descendants of Zombies. I can talk about Descendants of Zombies for hours on this show and have no regrets because I've had the honor of not only talking about Descendants of Zombies, but meeting so many incredible fans who have their own unique passions they showcase all the time about Descendants of Zombies, which they should never be afraid to showcase, because it's all about how passionate you feel about something like Descendants of Zombies. Now you give so much meaning behind how you feel about Descendants of Zombies, and you should never be afraid to let the world know how you feel about Descendants of Zombies. And this is why this continues to get so many great reviews, and people are raving about Descendants of Zombies, because Descendants of Zombies has really touched our hearts in so many unbelievable ways. And I know, while I can't speak for every other critic, having the honor to sit in front of this microphone to have talked about Descendants of Zombies for as long as I've been able to talk about it, regardless of it's a year, regardless of it's 10 years, it's been an incredible decade that I've loved being a part of, and I've loved sitting in front of this chair talking about Descendants of Zombies for forever, because I think this is a conversation that should never have to be over. This is a conversation that doesn't have to be over because of how much we believe in it, and the more predictions and the more analogies and more breakdowns we can be a part of when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, that's what makes this so special. That's what gives this so much meaning and prestige for the foreseeable future, and gives us something to really be excited about. Because if there's somebody out there watching this video who wants to forever and always remain excited about the future when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, that's what I've always wanted to promote in each video that I've ever uploaded here on this YouTube channel, because it gives me great honor to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies for that foreseeable future, because that future is something to really be excited about. So if you have not subscribed to any of these videos, you're probably going to want to go ahead and get that out of the way right now. Smash that subscribe button, because we have a lot to get into when it comes to a conversation about Descendants of Zombies, and this is a conversation that I believe should never have to be over, and it doesn't have to be over because of how much everybody believes in this franchise, because no matter who you are, from whatever walk of life you come from, from, Descendants and Zombies has never failed to touch each and every one of your hearts in so many emphatic ways, and these are ways that deserve to be celebrated, deserve to be talked about, and you should never be afraid to let the world know how you truly feel about Descendants and Zombies, which is what this YouTube channel was created for you to do, and what this YouTube channel's sole purpose is, to let the world know how we feel about Descendants and Zombies, and let the world know how we feel about Descendants and Zombies. There's no better way than by doing it together, because we are in this together, and we have a future to be excited about when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, and a future that I, for one, am proud to be the host of for this show. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you've continuously shown this YouTube channel, and I can only hope that you will continue to show it for that foreseeable future. Because the only thing that forever and always remains is for us to stay calm and zombie on, because indeed there is a future to discuss when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, and one that I'm incredibly excited to be a part of. Thank you guys so much for having watched this video.